You have war stories.
Yeah, I have war stories.
Like that's.
And it was so hard for me to resist the urge to tell them in the review because, like, I'm writing this physically massive review that people are going to take a lot of time to read. I'm like, I don't have an extra 400 words to tell.
Well, you do right here,
story.
Vince. let's hear one of your. Let's hear a war tale.
Okay, you want another war tale? Okay.
Regardless of tales of the battlefield, Vincent.
I will, sir. So. There was a mission where my goal, again, this is all going to be spoiler free, folks, so like don't worry, I'm not going to give away anything. So there was a mission where my goal was to take out this this general, but we don't know where this general is. The only instruction I've been given is that perhaps if I can locate one of his lieutenants, who's set to meet him, I can tail him and find the location of the general. Okay.
What was his name? General Whereabouts?
General. You're pretty good at your job.
I'm so sorry. I don't think that's true, but go on.
So I started the mission.
Damn it, Max.
I'm sorry.
I started the mission going to the area of operation, the last known location of this lieutenant, to try to find him, to tail him. So I did that. I made my way there, and I found him, but he gets in a Jeep, and he drives off, and I thought I was close enough to like kind of keep an eye on him, but I lost him. I just lost him. His AdCom wasn't on my map anymore. I kind of had a general sense of the direction he'd gone, but I didn't know what he was doing or where he was.
Sense.
So I was like, well, I could restart, or I could just let it rock. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna let it rock.
Yeah.
So I went to a couple of different outposts, and I'm like, I'm gonna interrogate guards from different outposts, and someone is going to know where this guy is, because that's almost always how the interrogation in this game works. You almost always get useful bits of information that are relevant to your mission when you interrogate people. But I went to 2 different outposts and interrogated several guards at each. No one had any information. And I'm like, well, my goal is to kill this guy. So, I mean, I don't generally do this in these games. I play stealthy, but I'm like, I just need to start killing everyone. And I'm just going to kill everyone in the mission area slowly and methodically until eventually there's going to be only the guy I need to kill left. So I start making my way from outpost to outpost within the mission area. There's like 3 or 4 outposts, and I'm just wiping out everyone, going and going and going. I go through all the outposts except for one, and I don't find this lieutenant, let alone this general. And I'm like, this is crazy. I have to have killed him by now. So I go to the last outpost, and I analyze the guy's face with my binoculars, and it tells me there he is. That's the lieutenant, not the general, the lieutenant. And I'm like, oh, all right, I'll just follow him. And I'm like, the general can't be too far, but he's surrounded by like 4 or 5 guys, and they're standing by a Jeep, and I'm like, I don't know. His guy's not moving on. I think he's where he's gonna be, and I'm like, damn. So I'm like, well, I don't have a choice. I can't sneak past these guys. I got to open fire. So I just mow them all down, hoping that one of the guys standing with him is the general. So they all die, but none of them are the general. And then the person on my radio is like, well, good job. You killed the lieutenant. Now we don't have any idea where the general is. In every other game, that is game over. Sorry, you killed the dude you were supposed to tail to find out where you were supposed to go. Sorry, start over again.
You jumped in a hay pile. Your ancestors never hid in the bush. You were desynchronized.
You were desynchronized. Done. Right. Exactly.
Flip off your horse.
In this game, it was like, well, now you got to figure it out on your own. Like, scan the remaining faces of the dudes to try to find the general. So I'm going through the rest of this outpost trying to find it, and suddenly, after a certain amount of time, the guy on the radio says to me, he's like, hey. We received some emergency intel. There's a helicopter coming to an outpost southwest of you. That's got to be to pick up the guy. You've got to make your way over there. So I jump in the Jeep of the guys that I just killed and start driving in that general direction. And then the person on the
general direction,
and then the person on the headset says to me that the chopper's there. You're screwing up. Like he's gonna get away. Like you need to do something. And as I get over like this hilltop, I can see in the distance in this outpost that a helicopter is starting to take off, and I barrel towards it. I drive up kind of like this outcropping, so like I'm almost at the same height, and it's flying off, and I'm chasing it. And I'm at that point where I'm like, it's reaching like escape velocity. It's getting too fast, and like now the distance is like getting farther. I can't get any closer, and I'm getting to the edge of this little outcropping. So I'm like, what do? I'm like, I'm just gonna hop out. So I jump out while the Jeep is still moving. The Jeep goes over the edge and explodes. I pull out my rocket launcher, which thankfully I had equipped in this for this mission because I don't always. It's not a guided one, just a dumb RPG. And like I roll out of the Jeep. I take a firing stance and I line up a shot and I'm just like, I try to lead him. He's moving a little bit this way. He's way out in the distance. I fire.
Yes!
And I hear the
Wow!
and the cop just starts spinning out of control, and he's literally outside of the mission area. Like he's technically escaped, but the chopper goes down and explodes. Mission complete.
Holy
Get yourself out of there.
That is so good. That is awesome.
Yeah,
It
I'm
was
gonna
like
play this game.
It was
I'm
like
excited.
it was like a
about
movie.
this.
It was like a movie operation. It was like something that happens in a movie. Like that scene of me chasing the helicopter on a Jeep and then just like jumping out of the Jeep while it's still moving. And
Yeah, that is like the back end of a Nick Nolte movie, basically.
And no one who
Yeah.
plays
So-
like there might be no one else who plays that mission who has that happened that way.
Yeah.
yeah.